You said that you knew you kind of wanted to pack in Casiotone from about 2003 onwards.
Yeah, that's true.
But then you know when you're done. When you're done, you're just done.
Yeah.
And that's it.
Mm-hmm.
But you said that there was still, like, at that stage, like 2 albums worth of material still to... How, once you've made that mental decision, do you still keep working on something?
Well, I mean, I just knew that there was going to be a timeline for the project, and it wasn't something that was going to go on forever, and I knew there was more I wanted to do with it. But I kind of had this idea for this album, Versus Children, that would probably be the last record, and had just kind of big ideas for like an sort of arc for the story and themes and things like that. So I had these songs sort of in the back of my mind, but in the meantime, I was writing other songs. So this album, Etiquette, kind of came together in the meantime.
People form quite an intense emotional attachment to your songs because they seem to be emotionally very open and very direct. And do you find that to a degree then the audience almost take the music off you? It becomes almost their thing to an extent, and that becomes difficult to fuck with, I suppose, too much.
That's true. And I think there are a lot of times people request songs, and they're not songs that I've really thought about for a long time, or that I really have the same kind of attachment with. And there are people at different points in their life who are maybe kind of feeling the same kind of things that I was feeling at the time that I had written the song when I was 23 or 24 or something like that. Yeah, I mean, I feel like I'm just doing cover songs at this point sometimes. Like, for the most part, I feel like this is music that I think I just kind of have to leave alone at this point, because it just doesn't have the same meaning for me.
Get a cat named Eloise, someone to talk to in the leash. A listless intellectual in her prime. Scrabble high score 409, with nothing remarkable to leave behind.
And then you're saying that your recording is quite can be quite ad hoc or spontaneous, and you sort of lay it down quite quickly. Mm-hmm. But you're also then saying that it can take you, at the moment, up to years to feel like a song is finished to a degree. So where does, I sort of find the two slightly contradictory a little bit.
Yeah, I think that's just sort of an aesthetic that I prefer. I mean, I like things to feel a bit rough, and I feel like calculating that roughness doesn't quite feel right to me. So often I'll record kind of a very, simple version of a song, or when I'm just kind of eking out, the melody or the rhythms or whatever, and I'll either hold on to that recording and sample it, or use that as kind of the rough version of a song until I finish the lyrics. I feel like the lyrics are finished, and then kind of the arrangements are changed, or I'll make sort of a new backing track for once I feel like I have the actual song finished. So, but yeah, I like kind of that push and pull.
I've seen you sort of have or at least in various interviews, give two different reactions to like the fourth wall, I suppose. Mm-hmm. So sometimes people come up and this song meant so much to me about this and this and the other, and the comparison you used was a little bit like The Guy Behind the Curtain in The Wizard of Oz.
Yeah.
And yet you do talk really in a very enthusiastic way about going on tours and doing little house gigs and things like that.
Yeah.
So you've got no real fourth wall in one sense, very sort of sociable, very happy to interact, and yet sometimes people will come to you and kind of say things which are a bit, I don't know, seem to catch you off guard, or
I don't know. I mean, I think that I really kind of value my privacy, and I think when I feel like people are treating me in kind of, when I feel like I'm getting like special treatment, it makes me uncomfortable, because I feel like that I don't really like I'm pretty uncomfortable with the idea of like celebrity or kind of like special treatment or anything like that. And I feel like I know so many people who are involved in all kinds of like, artistic endeavors, and how their personalities shift and change, and how they their self-perception changes and the way they expect people to react to them changes. And I guess it's important to me that I sort of try to maintain some perspective, but it feels really great when people, have questions about the music and, respond to it positively, but I can kind of tell when the way people are treating me doesn't feel healthy.
There's a bit of a pedestal, you mean?
Yeah, yeah. So that I feel kind of weird about. It's tough. It's real, because I've certainly been starstruck by people before, and I kind of realize I'm in those situations and kind of personally shy away from them because I feel like it brings out a weird part of me, and I don't want to make other people uncomfortable.
Turn out the page with a picture of some shit you get impatient. Go to a cafe, see a girl from your high school, but you look away. Take your coffee black, the way your mother would. A pack of sweet long, a pack of sugar. Your boyfriend texts you, and sorry that he's late. You didn't hear the race on his way, 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 on his way.
I don't feel any obligation to sing about myself, it kind of creeps me out, the idea of people assuming these songs are about me, which I totally understand why people do that, but I feel like that's when I listen to music, I just personally just don't assume that they're true stories, and I really just enjoy songwriting.
Taking cough drops, you call them all spills, but they don't help anything if you keep smoking. Go to the movies, go to the rodeo. Ride the train with the vagrants and watch the buildings fall away, fall away, fall away, fall away, fall
I'm kind of excited to start a new project without much of a plan or any real idea of what I expect from it. So I'm excited to go home and clear out all the samples in my sampler and forget the words to 13 Years worth of songs and just try to come up with some new stuff.
Do you have any idea what you can feel like on is it the 6th of December, this day after your final show?
I think it'll be a
like
real big relief.
You're going to sit down and do nothing for a bit, or are you just going to...
I'm gonna go out to San Francisco, where I'm from, and my mom lives there, so I'm gonna hang out with my mom for a couple days. Honestly, just like sort of the day-to-day admin of Casiotone and the touring, and like it's become like a job more and more, and I feel like that is made for less and less time for just making new music. And I'm probably not going to answer any emails for a long time, at least not music-related ones, and I'm not going to have any tours to worry about. There's not going to be anything to rehearse. It's just going to be writing new songs for a while, and I'm looking forward to that. And I'm looking forward to working with less consideration for what I'm building towards, maybe, and just trying to be a bit more like generous and open with the music I make, because I feel more confident now about my ability to make songs when I need to, and like I'm not so worried that each song I write is going to be the last one.
We mentioned last night, everything was so bright, I could barely make you out through the light. We mentioned last night, it wasn't sound to your side, and all your comforts are subtitled white on white. Put a penny on a railroad track for you to pick up